there's 55 of these have names on them. People have bought names, so those are getting engraved right now. But there's the letter and the number on the seats. Then those plaques hopefully will be back in time for opening. We call this row and this row the box seats because they're much wider. There's only 8 in each row, and they're wider, more comfortable. And these are going to get placed in between the group of 4 and the group of 4 that are named for their families. So these seats will be accessed from the lobby stairs, and same with the balcony across the way. I love K1. I think that's the best seat in the house. You can stretch your legs out and you feel like you're... It's great.
A real sense of ownership too, then, for the folks that, they bought in.
Yeah, so many people have contributed in so many different ways, cash or in kind or labor or, it's just, or design. I mean, it's been a huge ensemble that's worked on this piece. And the building itself is such a, piece of art, such its own, exciting thing to come see, that then the actual theatrical piece is kind of icing on the cake at that point, which is cool. This is our lift over here. That door is the lift that goes down to the lobby and up. We're super proud of this. We really wanted to have those that were differently able to be able to wheel themselves into the tech booth and run a show if they wanted to.
I mean, the inclusivity that's built in here is
well, we had
important.
That luxury with kind of gutting it and building from the ground up within the walls. The exterior is historic, and in fact, we took pains to take off each plank of wood on the front, restore it entirely, number it, and then put it back where it was, at the turn of the century. So the exterior is the same, and the awning on the side is indicative of how it was in the 20s and 30s, but inside, it's like dreamy little jewel box of brand newness.
It is. Jewel box is such an appropriate term. It's just stunning, Keely.
Gold proscenium and the elegance of the drapes. We had our first staging rehearsal last night ever within the new facility, and it was just thrilling. I sat in G5 and just, gave my notes, and they were acting away on the set, and I was just like, wow. It's really happened.
Yeah,
after all these years.
That's the question too, and I know it's the quintessential journalist question, of how you feel, but there's got to be a lot of emotions.
It's kind of indescribable, unfortunately, because when you make theater, it's ephemeral, and you do it, you put so much work and labor and love and vision into it, and then it closes and you move on. This is something that the building itself won't close. This is a living, breathing kind of canvas for whatever we paint on it. It's just indescribable, and so many years and so much kind of heartache along the way, and then little wins and then little not wins, and then all of it. It's
I mean, literally years.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, this first weekend in April, it was 10 years ago that I came up with a business plan and pitched it for the first time to a donor. And then 8 years ago in March is when we succeeded in purchasing this building and the neighboring George Victor Artist. So it's been a lot. I had 3 kids when I first started, and now I have 5. So you can kind of and they're old.
And not only is this a decade-long dream, but you're doing the majority of the actual work, the hands-on in here, in a pandemic.
I mean, isn't that crazy? The timing of it. The timing was a mixed blessing too. I mean, of course, donations were much harder to come by during the pandemic, as they should be. I mean, you've got to take care of people. But because we were already building, and construction workers are essential workers, we were able to get that HVAC MERV 13, the coveted HVAC model that gets all of the viruses out of the air and has the UV lights. And those are tricky to come by now because they're so in demand if you want to reopen and have a functioning theater. So we were fortunate to get in at a time when it was easier to come by. And then all of the operational, the stuff we have to take into account. We were able to plan that in and budget our whole season at 25% capacity. And that's amazing because now if we have anything above that, we're in a win. We're in a winning situation. So getting 25% to come to our shows, we've been selling tickets every single day. It just happens. They just keep coming in online. Gosh, since February. So for the whole season, all the way to Christmas Carol or, the whole season.
So folks that want to enjoy a production here need to get online and purchase those tickets.
Right. Well, we sold out. 46 is our sold out for the grand opening because of the social distancing. It happens automatically online with our box office. So, 2 on either side, depending on how big your party is, will be blacked out, and then every other row is blacked out. So the numbers will kind of shift depending. But right now, for indoor theaters, it's 50% capacity, socially distanced though. So it still keeps the numbers, nice and intimate. But those 46 people on the 23rd in a couple of weeks are going to see, Telly Leung singing directly to us in this small.
So jealous.
It's so cool. Well, there'll be many more. I mean, there's lots of our Broadway
absolutely,
series,
absolutely.
But it's just super, super cool. An unusual little jewel here.
It's very exciting. Okay, let me stop.